Hello guys, how's it going? It's the British Let's Plays here, and here I've got some Fallout 3 and some Fallout New Vegas gameplay for you today. This video is entirely about hunting Deathclaws, because there's one thing that we hate in the Wasteland, it's Deathclaws. They cause a lot of trouble, and we are going to be dealing with some of these pests. We are going to go to the town Old Olney, I believe it's called, Alderney, in Fallout 3, and then the stuff from Fallout New Vegas is some of the downloadable content from Fallout New Vegas Lonesome Road. Yes, that's it. And don't even remember the name of the DLC. And unfortunately, I don't have the battle with Raw, which is a unique Deathclaw who's much bigger than the rest of them. But there's plenty of videos of fighting Raw. In fact, if you want to see a really good one, go into the channel FPS, which is FPS Rush's gaming channel, which he hasn't uploaded for a very long time. And he's got a very good video on fighting Raw. But anyways, this video is going to be about employment and work. So, as you guys know, I have been pretty much unemployed for a long time. 7 months or so ago I finished university, maybe even longer than that. And I went to an interview today and I have been given a job. I have been given a job. It is a cameraman job and it's going to be awesome. It will mean that the next 3 weeks I've basically got to save some money like mad so I can go out to there and move there and live there for a month, and then I will be getting paid a salary, which is good. I always told myself I want a salaried job. I don't want to have something which is hour by hour, because you might start off doing plenty of work, but then after the second month, then all of a sudden you might only get 3 hours a week. You know, I don't want that. I want salaried, and that's what I've got. I'm very, very happy with that. I'm really pleased as punch. The family's happy. It means that in about 3 weeks' time I'll be able to move out of my parents' home, which is great because I've been here way too long. I'm very grateful, very, very grateful indeed that they have fed and clothed me through all this time. But you know what? I miss my freedom and whatnot. But I'll be getting that back in a matter of weeks. So that's fantastic. It really, really is. So something I want to talk about really to do with the employment is kind of it's to do with the whole education system with employment. As you guys know, it's very easy to get a degree and stuff. It's not easy. It's still a difficult task, but most people tend to get them nowadays. And they say throughout your entire school days and your college days, you know, that once you get this degree, you'll be much more qualified than everyone else to go and get a job, and you'll be able to basically out-qualify anyone else who may apply for that job. It's not true, people. I'm sorry, it is just not true. It might have been true 20, 30 years ago or so, in which people getting a degree actually meant you had a lot more higher standing during interviews and stuff, but nowadays it almost makes no difference. In fact, it can actually be a hindrance. I've applied for millions of jobs, and I've got turned down from most of them, and I have had many interviews, and several times during interviews I've been told, you're kind of overqualified for this, which I think is a stupid thing to say. It really is a stupid thing to say. If I'm willing to do the job and I've got the skills, I should be allowed to. But being overqualified means one of two things. Either they think that you will get bored and then run away. Oh, Nuka-Cola Quantum, nice. Or that you are better than the people who are hiring you. That's the main reason why people kind of turn people away who have degrees. It's a stupid thing, I know. If you want to do work, then that's great. That really is great. But you know what? People don't care about that stuff, so not anymore anyway. And there's kind of this conspiracy theory that the reason why the Tory government increased student fees is so degrees mean something again, which is a really stupid idea. You know, it's not going to make people less smart or whatever. It's just going to mean that people who do want degrees are going to be more poor. It's a stupid idea and it's just silly. But I'm not going to complain about politics. I really do not care about politics. I really do not. That's the bluntness of the situation. So I'm not trying to put anyone down who is currently studying a degree or anything like that. You know, definitely go for it. It's very, very, very good that you do it. But don't necessarily believe that if you go and get a degree, you will be able to get a job straight away. It just doesn't happen nowadays. Okay, if you look now, we are now in the Lonesome Road DLC, and my character in Fallout New Vegas wasn't as skilled as my character in Fallout 3, so I do die quite a lot. Basically, all the stuff in the Lonesome Road content is just basically a death montage, pretty much. But anyways, going back to the topic at hand. If you want to go ahead and study and get the qualifications, do it, because you'll be very happy that you do. But don't start thinking that having that degree will mean you will get a job straight away. It's very, very hard, people. People have told me about people who used to have £100,000 a year jobs who now can't get a job because of just the economic climate and stuff like that, and the way that people hire people nowadays. Just your qualifications don't really mean much anymore is what I'm trying to say. But don't let that knock you. You know, it just takes a very long time. That's all I can really say about it. But keep going with it, people. As I said, I've been hunting for work for maybe 7 months now or so, and I have finally got it now. You know, I went to the interview today. They told me that they are going to hire me, which is fantastic. I'm so happy about that. And I suppose if you're actually looking for work and stuff, the biggest thing is that it really gets you down. You know, like, I'm sure whatever you people who are hunting for jobs have been through, I can fully understand, because it's things like you apply for loads and loads of jobs all the time and you don't get responses, or you just get a very vague response like we've gone with someone else. But for the most part, you just don't get responses, and that is the worst thing ever. Seriously. You know, even if they send an email saying thanks but no thanks, most people would be happy with that. You know, yeah, sure, it kind of sucks, but for the most part, 95% of the time, employers just do not respond. Now, I can kind of get it. I kind of get it, because I know, especially if it's a big company, they may just not have the time to tell everyone, especially if they've had hundreds of applicants, to tell each and every one of them that they haven't got it, you know. But even do like a mass email or something like that, you know. People will be happier if you just let them know. And the other thing is feedback. You'll practically never get feedback as to why you haven't got the job. You won't, unless you possibly know the people in person and you chase them up yourself to get feedback. But for the most part, you won't get feedback. You'll just get a sorry, but we're not interested, or a nothing. And that's the worst thing. And you know, I've been in the local town, which is like a 50-minute cycle away from me, and I see people who I used to go to school with, who didn't go to college and didn't go to university, and they have nice cars and they are clearly working and stuff, and it's like, I hate that guy. That guy was an asshole to me, yet he has somehow managed to be in a better situation than me. That's not fair. But you know, try not to get jealous of people like that. You know, it's just part of the parcel that getting work is hard nowadays. And there may be people who are older who are listening to me talk and saying, don't be silly, you know, just go out and get any job you want. It's not that easy. You know, or even just getting any job that's available. It's just not that easy, because employers don't just want people who do something, you know, man the machines and do everything like that. They want people who do have qualifications but also are willing to do a good job. But that being said, having a degree does not necessarily mean you'll do a good job. It just means that you put more time into education than other people, if you get my meaning. And it really is a horrible situation. But just keep going with it. That's all I can say. Just keep working, keep applying. Eventually you will get a yes. You know, even if you have to, well, how can I say it? Even if you have to go through some really tough times, you'll eventually get it, you know. And don't just give up on what you want to do, you know. Even if you have to do any old job, which would still be very hard to get, as I've said, just to make ends meet, then do that. But don't stop looking for what you want to do, because it's important to do what you want to do. Because if you're just doing like some dead-end job that you really do not enjoy, then it will mean that you don't enjoy it, so that you won't stay there long. As soon as something gets a little stressful in your life, whether it's actually at work or not, you will leave that job. So keep focusing on what you want to do, but do what you need to do in order to survive, basically. Like me, in order to survive, I had to go back to my parents, and I really didn't want to do that. When I was finishing university, that was possibly the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. You know, I've been free for just over 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. I was free from being with my parents, and I was able to look after myself and things. And all of a sudden to have to go back to living with the parents, that was a huge moral blow, basically. It felt awful. I felt like I had failed somehow. But here's the thing, you know, there will always be people looking out for you, you know, whether if it's parents or friends or whatever. People can and will help you, you know, because many people either have been there or know that they will be there at some point in their life. So just stick at it. I'm sorry if I'm just kind of repeating myself by saying just keep doing it and stuff, but that is the bluntness of it. You've got to keep going with it. Like, for all I know, something terrible may happen to this job I've got now. They may say, actually, we're not going to hire people anymore. We really like you, we'll keep you on record. That could happen. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. They seem very enthusiastic about it, so that's great. But You know, take any old thing that you can do. Not necessarily the best idea, but you've still got to make ends meet, if you know what I mean. So even if you, as I say, even if you just do a regular old job that you don't want to do, but is decent, keep doing that and keep searching for what you want to do. You know, try not to get bogged down in all the horribleness of being rejected by employers and stuff. Just keep at it. Keep at it, that's all I can say. And basically, you know, I've been hunting for work for the last 7 months, as I've said, and it's been very hard for me, not just in terms of not being able to buy the things I want to buy and stuff, but also in terms of my self-esteem. You know, like, you apply for maybe 8 jobs in 1 week and you don't get a single response, and it's like, that's 8 people who have chosen to ignore me, where if it's because they literally can't respond. Oh god, that was a hilarious death right there. Even if they can't respond or they choose not to respond, you're getting ignored, and it sucks. It breaks you down, but that's just the way the system is, people. People may not like it, and I especially don't like it after all these months. And there may be older people saying you're just lazy and you just refuse to work. It's not true. Whether if they don't understand, I don't want to say this sounding mean, but one day they may be in the same situation as you, and then they will take back everything they said. Because it is true that getting work is ridiculously hard. But keep going, people. Eventually it'll work and you'll be happy. Whether if you can't do it because of location, because you do not have transport, which was my main thing, or if you're just not qualified but you are still studying, not old enough, anything like that. Keep trying. Just keep trying. Luckily we live in a world where everybody is expected to work, so people will hire people. You know what I mean? There are some countries in which work just doesn't exist and surviving is the important thing. We're lucky that we have a situation where that you can get benefits if you're looking for jobs, and we're also lucky that we have a thriving economy. Sort of. Just keep at it, people. That's all I'll say. Keep at it. British Let's Plays out. Peace.